Now, the chairman, Michael, of the National Trust has announced he's standing down amid the row over the woke
Yes.
direction it has taken. Members are furious at the charity's recent focus on politically correct issues, which has seen it link properties to colonialism and making staff wear rainbow badges.
Yeah, well, I mean, who knew that old nice but dim Tim Parker was actually put into the National Trust to completely reinvent Britain's history? I mean, who knew, for example, that some of the stately homes of our great country were once occupied by people like, Rudyard Kipling, people who used to spend time in our colonial parts of the British Empire, like India. I mean, it's absolutely ludicrous to try and reinvent the wheel here. I mean, everybody knows when you go to a National Trust home, there are three things that you're going to do. Your children are going to hate it, right? You're going to have to walk about mincing around as if you really, really enjoy looking at other people's old furniture, and you're going to have some stale scones and tea in an overpriced cafe on your way out. That's part of Britain. It's part of being British. What you don't want is a great big sign as you go in telling you that the person that used to live here was a ghastly racist, used to deal in slaves, and used to beat his wife up. That's not what we need.
Now, this in the same week that we're hearing Cambridge University are getting rid of a snitchy website in which
Yeah.
undergraduates can anonymously complain about lecturers for making inappropriate remarks or even looking at them in the wrong way, which might be triggering. I think they call it microaggressions.
Yes.
That website has now been axed. We've seen this woke National Trust chief quit. Are we winning the war on woke?
Well, I think we are. I'm constantly looking for little signs, Mark, as you know. And I think this business with the National Trust is a really interesting kind of bellwether because the people inside the National Trust are the people that got rid of the chairman, Tim Parker. He's been there a long time. Do you know he was about to appoint somebody to be the climate change lobbyist for the National Trust? Now, I don't know why the climate change lobby would need another lobbyist, particularly one that's being paid by the public purse through the National Trust. But simply speaking, people are getting more and more fed up. You and I know very well, Mark, that the people who listen to talk radio, growing every single day in numbers, are listening to us because we're not woke. We don't want people to be treated badly. We don't want people to be treated unfairly, but we speak up for equality and everybody should be treated the same way. You should not be treated badly, because you're thinner than I am. I should not be treated badly because I'm fatter than you are. The fact that we both happen to be white men should not be a problem. The fact that somebody else might happen to be brown or black shouldn't make any difference. We speak for everybody, and we don't expect other people to be given special treatment. And so I think the anti-woke brigade are going to win in the end. And I think this National Trust situation and the Cambridge Dons as well is a great example. I mean, do you know, for example, that microaggression includes raising an eyebrow, which is very bad news if you're a fan of James Bond, because, of course, one of the things that James Bond does all the time is raise an eyebrow. Whether it's Roger Moore, whether it's Sean Connery, whether it's Daniel Craig, they all raise an eyebrow, and it means all manner of things. But what you don't want to be doing is suddenly being, swamped by about 6 police officers, and when they beat you to the ground and start hitting you with a truncheon, what did I do wrong? You raised an eyebrow, son. You raised an eyebrow.
Yes, and I'm thick-skinned like you are, Mike. We've been around the block a few times. I've been suffering the slings and arrows of an outrageous showbiz fortune for many years, but we've all...
Lefty mates, haven't you?
Well, too many. But we've all got to grow a pair and just get on with it and not be so sensitive about everything all the time.
Exactly. But also, we do stand up. I mean, I've spent my life standing up as a journalist to governments. I've spent my life standing up for the browbeaten people of this world. I've been to war zones where I've reported on people being horrendously treated in terrible situations. The sort of people who make out that for example, Belarus is a bit like Britain. The sort of people who say
Yes,
that,
yeah.
Israel is like Nazi Germany, the sort of people who make out that, being black in Britain is the same as being black in America because you're going to get killed by a police officer. It's all rubbish and it needs to stop.
Mike, the voice of common sense, as always, cannot wait for your show tomorrow. The Independent Republic of Mike Graham opens its borders at 10 a.m. and all are welcome.